Have no volume.
We are live. Yeah, no, that's all right. We're live. We didn't even have sound a second ago. You're good. What is happening, everybody? Yo, thank you so much for joining us, Javier. We're gonna have to move this microphone probably closer to you because I tend to be a little louder than you. Anyway, let's see what we got. Live, yeah. Boogie, 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 boogie.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. Absolutely 100% appreciate that. All right, let's introduce everybody. Top right-hand corner, who do we have?
I don't. Mine's like in a row.
Oh, you're in a row? All right, so,
I don't know who's top right.
So you are in the top right. So.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You can refer to him as blue shirt.
All right, so wait, blue shirt's on the bottom of the stream.
Okay, so I'm in the top right.
All right, you're in the top right, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, well, I'm Alton. One half of the amazing duo of Tootaku.
It's true.
And avid anime watcher.
What?
I'm sorry, avid manga reader.
Since
Make
when?
sure you read this and let me know.
You're
a manga reader? My manga reader. Yeah. Well, Javier reads a bit of manga, but not like.
No.
No. He reads a bit of it. But not like David. David's not in here. My other son's like...
I read Boku no Hero, and then that's like it.
He is hardcore...
Smart man.
Reading like everything. I mean, he reads everything.
That's us all day.
Listen. He was 6 years old. This is back in the days. I bought a used game from GameStop. I brought it home, and he almost fell apart because it didn't have the instructions. He wanted to read them. That boy reads everything. Okay.
Hey, that's a good man.
It was a sight to see.
He reads everything. So we
the smartest one
of all of us. So anyway, all right. So we got Alton in the top right. Who we got in the bottom here?
Yeah. Xavier, the handsome one of the duo.
Oh, is that what it is? I like that. And we got Profe, Angel, and who are you?
Unimportant.
Apparently unimportant to my own father.
Javier / Pickle.
That's right. So that's what we got in here. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about... wait, what do you say over here? What?
Skip Xavier.
He said Skip Xavier.
Oh, wow.
Who said that? Was it Orlon? Oh, Joe.
I was going to say, Orlon, come on, man. I told you I loved you.
Feels bad.
So, all right. So we're going to get this thing started. I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. Then I'm going to turn it over to these guys so they can do their thing. It is their show, our channel, their show. I don't know what the heck we're doing.
It's meta.
We're just going to have a good time. But yeah, so what we're doing today is give you a little bit of background. I am 49. No, I'm 48. I'll be 49. I'll be 49 by the time we get out of this quarantine in June.
Just in case you guys were worried, he was a teacher for many years.
Yeah. So, and next year when I turn 50, I'm throwing a halftime party, like a halftime show party for my birthday. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, that sounds great.
But I didn't start watching anime till I was 45 or something like that. So I came into this game way late. And it was really interesting to hear everybody talk about, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch that, and like it was just everything thrown at me. So that's what I want to talk about. What do you guys think? And for the viewers, watching us here on stream, what do you guys think? Are shows that people need to watch if they're getting started? Regardless of age, because again, I started way late. And it's probably gonna leave some things out. Of what would be my list because of, when I did start. Because I'll throw this right out at you right now. Pokemon didn't even come close to my list. Not even.
I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
Only because at 48 years old, it seemed like a cartoon. You know, it was like I'm watching cartoon, like Saturday morning cartoons. I don't need this.
Exactly. I mean, that's originally what it started as. You know, it like before we really knew what anime was. Us growing up, it was like Saturday mornings, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Like before we actually knew Beyblade. Like before we knew those had Japanese roots, it was like Saturday morning cartoons.
I didn't even watch Dragon Ball until the Broly movie came out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then because I'm an idiot and I love my community, I rented out an entire theater to watch it. So yeah, it was amazing. We literally had like 70 people in a theater, all GOTE crew, all people invited only, and right before the movie started, everybody stood up and went Super Saiyan. It was. I'm sure that the people in the theater next to us were wondering what the heck was going on.
It was a sight to see.
But
Look at all these nerds.
It was. I'm sure they heard us through the wall because we all yelled like right before the movie started. It was so good.
That's great.
Yeah, and that was fun. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was good because I'd never seen any of it, and I enjoyed it. So it was well done.
I'm the type of person I enjoy the original Broly movie more, but that's just me. So my personal opinion, but I
was glad he didn't get killed by a punch. So, that was
okay. So everything up until that last point of the first Broly movie was great.
Got killed by a punch,
but first I want to say
everybody.
Yeah, he worked everywhere.
He worked Oh man, he worked.
I don't know. Have you seen the original Broly movie?
I hadn't seen anything, nothing Dragon Ball until that movie. I jumped into the deep end. I was
you watched the original like the day before, if I'm not mistaken.
I did watch like 1 or 2 episodes before.
He works everybody in the original.
So that I could get an idea.
Yeah, because the original movie came out years ago, but
everybody gets it.
The original movie, in my opinion, was better from the simple fact that like he runs through the whole entire Z Fighter team like it's nothing.
Crew.
It was
whole crew.
It was great.
Like that part of you that just wants to sometimes see the good guys get their butts whooped. It's like it's just so satisfying to see that, and I was so happy that like except for Gohan, because I was like Gohan's my boy, but everybody got ran through.
You get upset at me for liking Thanos. It's the exact same movie, dog.
No, it's not. No, it's
the
not.
Exact same movie.
Thanos.
We got purple Thanos and Broly. Same dude.
No.
Same
one
height,
wanted like
hair.
genocide, and the other one just wanted to take out Kakarot. That's
by killing everybody. Same thing.
All right, so I got again, and I want to jump into this because I really want to get your take. I try to put together for me a top 10 anime, and then I realized I've only seen 11, so it was pretty easy for me to do a top 10.
I wish I stayed there.
Yeah.
I wish I just watched 10.
No, I got 11. I broke that 10 barrier.
Hey, he said, no. I don't. Not 10.
He's a new man.
I wish I stopped at 11.
So I want to hear what you guys have to say. What are shows that new people need to watch? They need to, good introductory things, like something that's not going to totally scare somebody away. Because some of it is too deep. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of the shows that people are like, you need to watch this. I was like,
he's like, hold up.
Like, what just happened?
First example, I want to start watching anime. You should watch Death Note. No. Stop right there.
See it.
You should start with Berserker, dog. No. Stop right there.
No.
Hold up. Back up. Knock it off.
It's when people ask for recommendations, especially if they're not into anime, it's very challenging. Yeah, that's what we, over the years of doing this podcast, that's what we've determined and come to the conclusion of. If you're new to anime, the best thing to start off with is always a shonen, because it's the most generic.
All right, so let's break this down real quick, because again, I'm gonna play the idiot, which is gonna be real easy to do. Things that I hear all the time when I first started was terms like that. Shonen.
Okay,
so give me the breakdown, and for our viewers who maybe have never seen any anime, which is not a whole lot of them, but let's just pretend. What are the different breakdowns? Besides shonen, what is that, and what are the other ones?
You want to take this, or you want me to take it?
The best definition for shonen is it's for little boys.
I'm a little boy. I'm a real boy.
I think it's something like 13 to 15-year-olds.
That's
it's basically
perfect for
like,
me.
It's like a Lego set.
Listen,
that's a little more advanced.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
I'm Peter Pan for life, so I get that.
The cool thing about shonens though is that like it's even though it's for little boys, there's so many elements into it that can go into it that
Orlin, that's the wrong kind of little boy.
Oh god.
Orlin put Boku no Piku.
Yo, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what are you?
That's not a shonen.
So for those of you,
it's people like that you have to watch out for.
It is.
You got these people in the anime community that's like, yo, what should I watch? And they'll recommend you the most wrong anime.
Yep.
That's the wrong Boku. If you're gonna start with a Boku, it should be Boku no Hero.
So,
That's the only.
So for those of you listening to this on the podcast, we are live on the Gamers on the Edge Twitch channel, and we are watching the stream and watching the chat and hope to answer some of those questions. So if you see that, if you hear random,
also
answers, that's what the random answer is to. Hopefully we'll repeat the question.
Did you say that was Jose? You said.
Yeah, Josie's left.
Yeah.
Josie left. Yeah, Jose.
Jose also asked, what about Konosuba? I think Konosuba is a good anime, but I don't know if it's top 10 for starters.
I have no idea what it is.
No.
And you know what? And here's the thing. So because I've seen 11 of them, as you guys talk about them, I'll tell you where that is on my list.
As a professional. As a professional viewer.
I just want to say,
just break it down.
So shonens is definitely I feel like the places to start because this is the most, like I said, generic. It's
your easiest.
It's your easiest to get into. It's not super serious, but it can get super serious, and it's not like most of the time they're pretty decent. It's like if you're getting into working out, like your personal trainer shouldn't tell you like, yo, we're gonna start with like deadlifts and just going crazy right out the gate. No, they're gonna start you off with people. You're gonna start off with the easier things to get into. So like you said, like for example, I wouldn't tell someone to like, yo, if you're first getting into anime, watch Pokemon like that, because to me that's a little under the bar you want to be at for starting off anime, because it's like you said, it's very kiddie and you see it as more as a cartoon.
You start with the big
also,
three.
here's the thing. So let's keep this in mind. I watch to be entertained. That's like my main purpose. So I want to be entertained. In today's society, today's living right now. I mean, other than right now, because we're on this quarantine, I usually don't have that much time to watch things. So if it doesn't grab me, by the man, if it doesn't grab me by the second episode, I'm bailing. I will tell you, there is one that Javier got me into it, and it was, for me, episode 1, I was like, oh no. Episode 2, I was like, I guess. By the time Titan. By the time I got to episode 3, I was like, I'm hooked, and it was Hunter x Hunter. And
I was the same way.
First 2 episodes, I was like, come on, man. And by the time we got to 3, I was like, who are these idiots? I love them.
So I would say Hunter x Hunter is a perfect starter anime for people who are just getting into anime. And I say this because it takes a very interesting turn as you progress through the anime. Where, like I said, it starts off very like childish, and you're like, oh, like this is gonna be fun,
Right.
It is fun, but once they get to that hunter arc where they're getting their hunter's license, it takes like a completely different turn, and you're like,
it's fun.
These kids
What
have
is
some
happening?
serious issues. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
exactly.
The further you get in Hunter x Hunter, the more hardcore it gets. Like
Exactly. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like the Chimera Ant arc is just like, like I was like, wait a minute, like this isn't
It's like
the
a
same.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah,
Yu Yu
exactly.
Hakusho started out peaceful, and then
Yeah.
they're just like, "Hey, people are gonna be dying all the time. Just have to accept it."
Yeah,
you know?
and that's number 3 on my list. So that actually from
man.
one that didn't want to get in there at all, it jumped up real fast.
It's real good.
So I really enjoyed it. I like the bizarre darkness of the kids.
It's dark.
Actually, yeah,
it's
really dark in a really funny way. I mean, like,
yeah, it's fantastic.
oh, like, hey, you do that again, don't worry about it. I'll just kill you next time. It's okay.
Whatever. I know I'm 15, but I'm a-okay with murder. It's whatever.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. You'll never see it
Whose
coming.
life isn't like
so
that.
it won't bother
Yeah.
you. Don't worry.
No. But I think if people are going to be jumping into anime, you have to start with the original big 3 shonen of Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. If you skip the filler seasons, Bleach, and stuff like that.
The thing is like we have a long standing of with the show Bleach, and it's
a long suffering.
it's like it's like a really
spot.
complicated relationship.
Right.
It's not
And,
complicated.
He said it's not complicated.
No.
You're right. It's not complicated. They broke our heart, but
They
whatever.
broke our heart. Shattered it in pieces.
Aren't they
But
making more episodes?
regardless of the fact,
This episode.
Unfortunately, yes. And
but
of the worst arc too. I don't understand, but whatever.
but I would say that's also a pretty good starting anime as well, because it has all the things you want in an anime that and they do it pretty well. Yeah, you skip the filler seasons, but I tell that to everyone about anime.
Which is like 4 seasons though.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
It's not as much as Naruto.
My very first anime, and again, it wasn't until I was like 45, so I started way late. My first anime is still my number 1 anime, and it was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
That just,
I know that's number 1 for a lot of people.
I love the relationship. It's a relationship thing, like I love the relationship between the brothers. That was my thing.
You just got Orlon all excited.
That is,
no, don't get
we
me wrong.
don't want to do.
That we don't want to get him excited.
that is my number 1, and that was the very first one I ever watched.
That's Full Metal is really good.
It got me on episode 1, so that was good.
For me personally, it's not my number 1.
No, I get it.
Just because
I haven't even finished it. I'll be honest. I've tried again and again, and I can't get into it for some reason.
I love.
I get to like episode 5, and I'm just like, I don't know what it is.
I think it's a real well-rounded anime. And I definitely think it's a good starter anime. The only reason why I wouldn't necessarily start people exactly on that anime is just because it does have a darker feel to it. When it starts out like you're like, oh gosh, like these kids, their mom died and they tried to bring them back, and then they
What's
almost
wrong with
died.
Yeah,
that's
That was
every
my middle school years.
that's
What do you
dark
mean?
a lot faster than a lot of other anime.
That's every Disney
Yeah,
movie.
Because
Like when you see her writhing around on the floor in the basement, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, oh, that's
Wait
where
a
the
minute.
show's headed.
This is
What
Bambi.
you should,
It's
what you should
Bambi.
really start with is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
oh yeah, that's
Which one?
Start with
You say
Avatar:
that, but that
The
show's
Last Airbender.
amazing.
no, that's
You know
that's
what
what?
you should
I
start
forgot.
with.
I did
Fantastic.
see that. I did see that. That's 12. Look at that. Yeah, I've seen.
Moving on up.
And that one actually would move on up. That one was that was really funny. I really enjoyed that.
If you're gonna get
wanna
someone to start and they're like opposed to anime for some reason, I would be like, okay,
Yeah.
well, here's
Get
this
them into
cartoon,
Avatar.
dog.
Yeah,
I
get him
loved
to.
it.
'Cause even though Avatar is considered, cartoon,
It's
it's
an anime.
very, it's very loved by the anime community just because of how well it was executed.
It's amazing.
And I like Xavier said, if people are on the fence about really getting into Japanese animation,
Here you go.
I would be like, yo, Avatar, because life lesson, action, just character development,
and
plot,
it's Western animation.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I did enjoy that. Actually, it was really funny. Somebody put on, on Facebook, they put all these like tests, or like, who are you most like, the heck. So I pushed the button on it. And my top 3 were the weirdest top 3. I don't know what in the world they were thinking. I got Avatar as number 1. That was me. Okay, I can see that. I'm a little kid who refuses to grow up, and so can't take anything serious. And number 2 was Han Solo, and number 3 was the Joker. And I'm thinking, man, I am messed up.
What kind of combination?
Exactly.
What kind of quiz has all of those answers?
I have no idea.
I am more messed up than I thought I was.
I don't know. I will tell you, I would watch that show though.
For real, though.
Han Solo trying to lead those two.
But yeah, so
okay, guys.
I did enjoy that. But yeah, Full Metal was my number 1. I'm gonna tell you what's on all the way back at the end. Javier got me to start watching Fairy Tail. I enjoyed that. Fairy Tail was good. It was so bizarre at times, though, that I was like...
Fairy Tail's not a good show. It's a fun show.
I'll take that.
Yeah. You hit it right on the head with that.
That was personally my first anime. So, like, I have more of a fondness for it than most people, but, like, it's a fun show. It's not...
Yeah,
it's super fun. It's the epitome of what shonen is.
It's the epitome of shonen, yeah.
It's easy to get into. You just slide right in. You're like, oh, okay. I guess this is what anime is.
One thing we talk about on our podcast a lot is the difference between, like, we're the type of people, like,
something
the
that's
difference
good and something you enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, we discuss it all the time on our episodes where we talk about, like, pop culture and stuff. I'm a hardcore DC fan, and he's Marvel, but at the same time, I will rep DC all day. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I know their movies are crappy. Like, I know Marvel movies are great.
Yo,
whereas you got people.
For the longest time, DC had bad movies, good shows, and Marvel had good movies, bad shows.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing for a long time.
And then they had good and good.
Yeah, they finally got to it, but for a long time, you're right, that was the
Netflix.
Thing. Then they canceled them. As soon as we all liked it.
Feels bad, man.
I mean, they had 2 good shows, I would say.
Yo, anyone else waiting for that Hawkeye show on Disney Plus?
Well, they have to, like, push everything back.
I know. Now, it's the worst.
Virus.
So
they put a hold on Bucky and Falcon. So, which I was actually looking forward to.
Which is just a rip-off of
Javier brought up the difference between a good anime and a fun anime. Then there's animes that are like, again, we're talking from a point of view of somebody who's just getting into this. Animes that are binge animes and other animes that you can just start if you don't have a whole lot of time, watch a little bit, leave it alone, come back. And if you have somebody like that, hey, I don't have a whole lot of time, but I can watch 20, 30 minutes and then come back to it later. What I found that I really enjoy was Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboy Bebop was so good for me.
That's a soap opera.
But
that's not anime.
But it was like every episode almost had nothing to do with the previous one. Like
exactly.
If you watched the previous one, it probably helped. But if you didn't see it, you didn't remember it because you hadn't seen it like in 3 weeks, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I enjoyed it for that reason. I was like, I got 25 minutes. Let me throw this on and I'll watch it. That was kind of a good thing for that.
The sad thing is that there isn't a lot of anime like that anymore. Because that's essentially how, like, Dragon Ball was. Even when Dragon Ball Z started off, that's how it sort of was. Where it was like you didn't necessarily, like, if you didn't see it for a few weeks, like, it kind of didn't matter because it was like, because I have a hard time. Like, if I watch an anime, but then I don't watch it for a few weeks, I got to go back and watch the previous episode to remember what happened. So, like, animes like that where you can you don't have much time, so you'll watch one episode a week, where they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah, no, Cowboy Bebop definitely worked for me when it came to that.
The closest one like that, it would be Blood Blockade.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, Blood Blockade would probably be a
Season
really
1
good
and
one
Season 2.
because
I don't know if you ever heard of it, but
I have nothing.
it's
I'll throw you. I mean, I'll throw you my list. You ready for my
Okay.
list? All right, here we go.
yeah.
I got Fairy Tail. I got JoJo's, and we can jump back to
There's so much. So I don't know
JoJo's
which one.
So, I mean, I was gonna say so bizarre, but that's understood.
By the way, just so you guys know, he's going from 11 to 1. He's not going from 1 to 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he's not saying JoJo's is number 2 to start.
No, just JoJo's in general. You know. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I am going from. I'm working my way to number 1. So I got
Alright.
JoJo's in there. Which brings me to. Oh no, I'm about to lose our viewers. Brings me to sub and dub.
Oh no.
Subbed over dubbed.
Listen,
Make the right
Right
choices.
choices.
Oh, that's my phone. Snake. Let me turn that off. Anyway, don't be scared to let somebody who is new watch the dub.
Oh,
Because
no,
because
see,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
honestly, so here's the thing: JoJo, My Hero, both of them I started them in dub, and that's how they got me. And slowly I worked my way into sub, and I get it.
exactly.
Okay.
I get it.
Exactly.
But I'll be honest with you, even JoJo, I will watch JoJo in sub as long as Grandpa's not in it. The moment Grandpa's in it, he talks way too fast. I can't read that fast. So, I was like,
Joseph is a
happening?
gem.
I was like,
Joseph is a
Grandpa,
gem.
slow down. I can't read this fast.
You have to unlock your shotting gun, man.
Oh my
goodness.
Once you get it, it's
Where you
No,
sort of
but-
read it through peripherals, and you're just like, yeah.
Grandpa's got to slow down.
I just read every other word, and I'm like, okay.
Right?
Use
Well,
It gets
context
bad.
clues.
Yeah, you get to a point where you half reading and you just
Like-
understand what's happening.
Like I've gotten to the point where I can actually multitask while watching the sub
You know what?
because it's like
Yeah.
I know when like something important is coming up by the change of their voice. So it's
Yeah.
like, but you're completely right. If someone's new getting into anime, I definitely would recommend like dub if there's a dub version of it.
Yeah.
From Naruto
Um,
dub,
Yeah,
I had-
exactly. You know,
like 100%. Here's Naruto dub.
I had the same issue with Attack on Titan. I couldn't read that fast. Attack on Titan was also real fast. So
Attack on Titan just has so
Attack on
much
Titan.
talk.
Also real bad.
And
I
actually,
wish
it didn't make my top 11 because I didn't watch
Thank
it.
you.
Like,
Good.
after
Thank you.
Thank
after one episode, I was like, oh, we're moving on. Number 9. I
I
can't
don't
remember the name of number
which
9.
one he had you watch.
Where's David?
I think he probably had you watch. It was something Wars. It was a Gundam.
Food Wars.
No.
Oh, no. I was-
Don't get us started on that, man. Don't.
No,
Please,
I did
please.
watch. What was it? Ask David. Where is David? Anyway, I did watch
War?
a Gundam.
Something Wars.
I don't think
movie.
he had you watch Iron Blooded Orphans yet.
I don't know, but I did watch. I did watch.
You gotta
a
start
mech-
with Z Gundam either way.
I did watch a mech movie that I really enjoyed the series. I can't remember what the name of it is. I'll have to ask David later. Number 8 was Cowboy Bebop. Number 7, completely different than those. I had Kenshin Himura.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah,
Oh, Rowan
Oh,
Gibson.
okay.
Okay, that's a classic.
So you're just going through the old school ones then.
I haven't finished it yet, but I really enjoy that one. And actually, that one's that I do go back and watch again.
Kenshin.
And Orlin, I know you there, Orlin. Or I sent Orlin a photo of my TV the other day with a dude spiking a volleyball, and he goes, "It's about time."
Haiku. That,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
but my thing with Haiku is that that's not one I would actually recommend for someone starting off with because
I wouldn't start with
because
any sport.
yeah, no, because the thing is, especially if they're not a sport lover. Now, if you
Yeah.
came to me was like, yo, I love sports, I want to watch something with sports, then yeah. But like generally sports animes, like I would say
Start
they're
with
very
Kijo.
oh gosh.
I'll
You're
be
welcome.
honest with you. I'm sorry, Orlin. I love you, man. Although I love Saudi more because she's my niece. But anyway.
Everyone loves Saudi.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
no,
That's how the world works.
I love them. My only issue was I stayed away from it for so long because I was like, I don't watch a volleyball anime. I just don't want to. But once I got into it and I got into the characters, that was fun. I really enjoyed it.
It's a fun hype anime. Like, it's really good.
Yeah.
I recommend it to a lot of people who who wants to, like, most of my friends, my close friends, they, like, I recommended it to one and then he recommended it and it, kind of just went down the chain.
Snowball.
So now, yeah, exactly. So, but like I said, it's just not one I would recommend to people right out the gate because it's sports anime takes a lot to get into because it's usually when they start off they're a little bit slow. Like you don't really, it doesn't really get haiku with the exception. Like I think it picked up, like for me personally, like maybe like episode like 3 or 4. But most sports animes, like the first like 6 episodes is literally just them like trying to get a team together, essentially.
See, this person's bad at said game. This person has one thing that they can abuse to actually become pretty decent at this game.
Exactly.
The rest of the anime is just this person trying to become the best in the world.
See,
and then through the power of friendship, they achieve it.
Through the power of friendship.
It's very powerful.
Well, see, the thing I like about haiku is that, like, it's not even friendship, it's just through the power of, like,
determination.
Working hard.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
the power of teamwork. Yeah.
The power of teamwork.
Which is ironic because I love the fight between the 2 main characters. That's probably my favorite thing.
That was like for me that was a big stepping stone in the anime because like you don't see it in most sports animes, especially if there's like 2 MCs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole like little like rift they had where it was like they couldn't work together very well for a minute and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, essentially they're bromance. They're having a little, spout.
So, are you talking about volleyball, Naruto, and Sasuke? Yeah.
So
I mean, essentially that's what they are.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: number 3, 4, 5, and 6, I could have flipped them in any order. I was really good from like 11 to 7, and then 1 and 2 were definitely in there, but 3 through 6, I had Haiku. I had Fate Stay.
Okay.
Which I really enjoyed. That was different. I had Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann was a pleasant surprise.
Gurren Lagann is that's
that still on Netflix?
That's where I saw it. I saw it on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. That one's I will say it's definitely a special taste because not a lot of people that I've talked to like they either liked it or hate it. Like it's like
that's what I
right.
So
I liked it. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Spoiler alert: you got 10 seconds to go away. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like the fact that the main character is dead the whole movie. I'm like, wait a minute. I just like this guy. Why'd you kill him already? Is this over? What happened? I was like, are you like, that was short-lived. Right. So
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I love animes that take that like that ballsy jump when they do animes like that.
That's not true. You just like upsetting people. Let's be honest. Oh yeah, I like risky anime. No, you don't. You like seeing everyone freak out in the comments, being pissed off, and you just stirring that pot. That's what you like.
All right, we got somebody on stream that said fact.
Who is this? Jose right there.
Jose said fact.
He knows. Why you lying, dog? Why you lying?
Everyone, I'm just saying. I think it's it's very heroic. Look, all I'm saying is go big or go home.
I get that because as a sidebar, as a TO, I got 2 players playing each other, and I know one of them is just like ready to throw a controller. Oh, I want him to lose. I want to see it. If you got a bad attitude, I want to see you go down. It's the dark side of me, man. It's the dark side of me. Yeah, that's right. I tell players, just get in his head. Just lean over right when he doesn't expect it and be like, you smell different when you're awake. And then just keep playing. Don't say nothing else. Just keep playing.
Yeah, that'll throw me off so much. lean over and whisper that, I'd be like, hold up, man, what?
Wait, excuse me?
See, I'll end up pausing the game and then I get disqualified.
You just lost the stock.
Just pause it, stare right at them. What?
Oh my goodness. And then the top three, I think we already spoke about these, but I had Hunter x Hunter as 3. Like I said, really enjoying that. My Hero as number 2 and Full Metal is number 1. And those two could flip. I mean,
yeah, My Hero should be number 1. And that's a fact.
He's a fanboy.
No, I am not a fanboy.
He's a fanboy.
I am not a fanboy.
Are all of those figures behind you all from My Hero?
No, so,
or is it just all 4, Alton?
So
no.
Oh, okay. Look, I got JoJo standing right next to Iron Man. Okay.
Oh, well, look
there
at Alton's,
there are
though.
4.
I'm pretty sure 6 are from My Hero.
No, there's only 4.
We got him over there in the corner.
We have
Shikamaru,
and we have
who you said?
Oh, okay.
Shikamaru and
Actually, 7.
What's it called?
Like I said before, I
love
like
how
all of them.
My figures are just from harems.
Well, yes, because you have a problem. If you want to talk about problems, this guy has nothing but female figures, all from harems.
He's less
and
a
Goblin
fanboy and
Slayer.
more a stan.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, stop watching harem.
Everyone has to have hobbies, okay?
Oh man.
Yeah, so
But,
Goblin Slayer.
But no,
and Thanos.
See, he has a problem.
Also, Jose, he was talking about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, that is the one, Brotherhood.
He wasn't talking about the original.
Now, I'll be honest with you. There are certain things that I'm kind of just stick with. Like, it's definitely Brotherhood for me. I will admit that My Hero is better than Full Metal. However, I just have an attachment to Full Metal. I love the relationship between the two brothers. I actually have the pocket watch. I actually
you hear that, Orlon?
Yeah, I own the pocket watch. But I enjoy Full Metal more than My Hero.
That's okay, but My Hero is better. So
I can't wait for the current arc that's in the manga to actually be animated.
My man,
it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick.
My man. See, this
I'll laugh at you when it takes a turn. Like all the other recommendations. Because
Why?
you know it's our fate.
So we have a bad luck of finding really good anime / like mangas.
Start incredibly.
They start really. It all started back in high school with Bleach, and
it all goes back to Bleach.
It all goes back to Bleach.
Ever since then, we just had the bad luck of finding really good. Like when he introduced me to Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma.
Oh man!
And I binged that entire anime in a night.
Yeah,
it was only at the time only season 1 was out.
Yeah,
I binged it, and then he was like, "Yo, are you gonna read the manga?"
He wasn't going to.
I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna read the manga." That next morning, I was like, "Yo," so I caught up on the manga, and and like I mean, if you go back and listen to our early episodes, like that's all we preach about. And then
now you get caught up. You sound like my cousin. Now my cousin unfortunately was in the hospital literally for a year. So he got all caught up on One Piece, on the manga.
He literally watched all of One Piece while he was in there.
That's how long he was in the hospital. He's got One Piece down, all caught up, all manga, all everything.
I can't do One Piece.
Yeah, that's another one I would not tell anyone to start with.
I read the manga, but even with reading the manga, like I ain't even gonna lie, I skipped like the first 400 chapters. Mainly because
I skipped the fillers.
Just read the footnotes.
I skipped the first 400 chapters.
I knew what happened. So because the thing about One Piece is up until a specific arc, it's not filler. It's literally just background. Like it's them forming his team, and the stuff that happens during that, they do recalls to it, and like the stuff that's going on now.
Right.
But like.
They're gonna have recap episodes.
But I mean, I skipped until he recruited his last 2 members of the crew, and that's where I was like, "All right, cool," and I'm doing fine. So
I'm doing fine.
Imagine the Force 4 Harry Potter movies just getting the group together.
like, but that's what upset me.
We're getting the band together again.
First 4 movies, guys.
I'm sorry. Like, I appreciate, background stories and
Right.
how a crew came to be. But like, come on, 400 chapters, like
That's a bit.
that's for you
That's a
to
bit.
like get
It's
your like
so
main crew.
unnecessarily long.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels
It's-
drawn out.
Just refuses to stop.
See, and that's where I guess, as a new person in this, I hear stuff about it and I want to watch it, but at the same time, it's like there's no way I'm getting caught up.
Yeah.
It's just never
At
gonna
this point,
happen.
You just have to wait until it's done. Hopefully,
many-
the next
how many
like 5
chapters?
years.
Yeah, it's never gonna
It's
happen.
900. It's 900 and like something chapters. 'Cause I'm
By
about
the
100
time-
chapters behind.
By the time it
He
finishes,
said I'm
yo,
about
you should
100
totally
chapters
watch it.
behind.
It's only 12,000 chapters, dog. What?
I'm on it. I'm on it. I need to get on that.
Jose said that One Piece was long because money. And
Yeah,
it's fair.
well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And because he doesn't know what the One Piece is.
Right?
This
Well-
whole time, oh god, what am I?
He
I
just
do?
had
I
writer's
built it
block.
up so much.
He's had the whole series figured out since the beginning, and then he's just like,
Except
"What's
for
the
One
climax?"
Piece. Yeah.
but like the
What
thing
have I
is,
built this up to be?
I get why he's like prolonging it, because I mean it's been the number one like anime manga in Japan for like the longest time. So like
a while.
that's money.
For the longest
but-
time.
Until Naruto.
Yeah,
And
but
Naruto
even
finished,
then,
and then it came
yeah.
back
But
to number
I was
one.
saying, well, even before Naruto finished, One Piece went back on top because Naruto took a downward spiral. But we're not going to talk about that. Because
That
That's
last
right
arc, though,
up there
dog.
with Spider-Man 3, isn't it? We don't talk
oh
about
my
that.
gosh.
Dude, I haven't even finished the Great Ninja War. Like,
See, I stopped watching at Shippuden and I started reading, and I like even we were in high school when the last did Naruto finish when we were in high school or after?
I think so.
I think like our freshman
it
year in
did.
college. I think it finished, and even then
Naruto
the
and
real
Bleach finished like around the same time.
yeah. But I know Bleach finished when we were in high school. No, Bleach finished I think after as well. I don't know. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but it's but Naruto, even like towards the end of Naruto, I was like it felt like a chore to read it. Like I was just reading because I was like I might as well finish
And
it.
not as much as Bleach though, but yeah.
Yeah, not as
and,
much as
and-
Bleach,
and let
but-
me throw this in here. I'm gonna take a left turn here real quick. If you don't normally watch anime, don't watch any of the live action ones that Netflix is putting out.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay,
um,
I watched
Don't do
like
that.
I watched
I
like the
wouldn't
first.
recommend that for people who watch it.
I watched the first 3
No.
minutes of Death Note, and there were heads rolling, and I was like, "That looks so bad." They're like, it was just not good. I think I made 3 minutes of Death Note. That was it.
That's pretty good. pretty good.
The only
Got through
live
the title
action
card.
one I watched was Bleach, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep, but I think that was more so just because
Oh,
I was
okay.
tired.
Well, Full
But,
Metal was better than I thought it was going
He
to be.
was tired of being disappointed by Bleach. That's what it was.
It all goes back
Now
to
they're coming
Bleach.
back with it. Now
It
they're
all
coming
goes
back to
back.
disappoint us so much. Yay.
And the thing is, it's like I was like, am I gonna watch it? Yes. Am I gonna be disappointed the entire time? Yes. Because it's just, and I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm just gonna watch the fight.
Just
scenes.
watch the
It's
fights.
all- It's
They're
all
still going to
fancy.
be disappointing
it
because it's so stupid. It's so,
And it doesn't
it's
make
so
any-
dumb. It makes
doesn't
no
make any
sense.
sense. It makes no sense what they like.
The
I'm
Quincy's, they're basically gods. And then in one chapter, they're like, well, we got to beat them now. And they beat them.
but
It's so bad.
it was terrible.
So how do you
But,
really feel?
About, I mean, I would say go watch the anime.
I feel
because
like
the anime
I feel like
did
Bleach
whereas-
broke his heart. It's like
It did, man. It
Bleach
was
is
my
like
first
that.
heartbreak.
yeah, I was just gonna say that first girlfriend that just destroyed you and just like
No,
And it's like no matter how much you want
that's
to
why you just stick to harem.
let it go and
Always
forget about
satisfied.
it. No, man.
You know they're going to be bad, so you're always satisfied.
I refuse to watch a harem. So
That's what he said.
I tell you, the one thing I did refuse to watch was Trigun, and I was really disappointed because I was really enjoying it, and then somebody's like, they all die at the end, and it's the most depressing series ever, and I was like, dude, if I want to be depressed, I just look at my bills. I don't need to watch anime to get depressed. You know,
most depressing series.
Don't watch Your Lie in April.
Yeah, so
Your Lie in April.
April.
But I did start Trigun and enjoy the beginning of it.
Oof.
Or accurately named Your Cry in April.
But our thing is, we
love tragedy.
We're big fans of tragedy. If you tell us to come up with anything tragic, we will not disappoint.
That is true.
And that might stem from some deeper emotional trauma.
So again, for those of you listening to the podcast, one of our viewers, Jose, is his description of Bleach. Go ahead, Javier, give it to him.
Bleach is that high school girlfriend you're always one bad day away from calling, but you hold off because you know she isn't good for you.
Man. Also, right, man, everything's okay.
Okay. Is that just a memory? I don't think that's an explanation.
He's staring at his phone right now, just like,
stop, get some help.
Just holding down the contact info. Should I delete it now? Come on, man.
But no, that's seriously like that's how Bleach is. Like, no matter how much we want to forget about her,
you just can't.
It's like 1 week she's on your playlist, next week she isn't.
Yeah,
it's just because those good days were so good.
they were so good. Like, so a little backstory. Me and him met in our psychology class, our junior year in high school, and like one of the first ways we met was because I was reading Naruto. I was reading the manga Naruto. And then it was like, oh, you read Naruto? I was like, yeah. And we started talking about it. And he was like, yo, you read Bleach? And I was like, yeah. And like we would, yeah. And instantly, best
eyes
friends.
just gleaming.
Yay! And at that
little
point,
did we know.
Tight Kubo was just laughing at us as we raved. But at
they
that
have no
point,
idea what I'm doing.
But at that point in time, we were actually a lot more into Bleach than we were Naruto. So it was, it was like the love of our lives. And then
so many good theories, so many good ways it could have gone. And then it's just none of them.
And then.
And then
now we're here.
And now we're here.
Now we're
depressed.
Sad, depressed, overweight. It's terrible. Just losing our hair. What's going on? Just
stress.
See, exactly.
I lost so many years of my life.
He was.
The jock who keeps his high school ring.
Yeah. Well, the problem was
he wears his Letterman jacket every time he can.
Right. Just going to the grocery store with the Letterman jacket. These were the highlight years, guys.
So what else? What else should I watch? You know what I've seen so far. Is there anything else that you say? Okay, you're a new guy. You need to watch this.
Well, I was gonna recommend definitely Fate.
Who?
But you already on that Fate Stay.
I love all of them. We did the 2 movies in the theater also. Yeah. We did actually My Hero. We rented the movie theater for both of My Hero movies.
Yeah.
Yo, that new movie
that's
though.
Crazy.
Yeah. Listen, are we gonna watch it?
Are we allowed to talk about it? Because it's been out for a while now.
Yes,
it has been.
Look, I rule with them on the podcast.
You're just waiting for an opportunity.
We give people like a week after something comes out.
A week?
Sometimes.
He's like a week. That's all you get.
Sometimes.
So it depends. Like, oh man, when what was it? Endgame came out. No, we had to talk about that right then and there because
we did.
That's a whole nother
not
story.
Start with that because that will be the next. That will be this whole thing. Just Endgame.
But no, yes, the movie, man. I had so many, like just thoughts and like I was happy about it, but then because of a certain someone. I'm not gonna say any names. Bakugo. I
really
was like,
enjoyed
no.
the
I'm
ending.
not
It
gonna
was
say
really
any
pretty,
names.
but it was the dumbest ending to an anime movie that I've ever seen.
Because of how they set it up. Like,
You haven't seen enough anime movies.
That's true. I need to watch more.
If that's the dumbest ending, oh boy.
it just upset me because I was like, why? Why did they have to
It's
do
fan
that?
service. It's fan service.
I just didn't
And-
like
A
the
lot of
fact
things.
that he had to forget. I would have been okay had he not forgotten.
Well, because they couldn't make it, because then they would have to made it canon in the manga. So this way it's that like it's canon, but it's not canon. So like, but the main thing that they also did is they spoiled a lot of stuff from the manga, like a lot of their moves, Endeavor Scar, like they did so much stuff in that, and there were like little things, but at the same time, like I know from the theater I was in, a lot of people were like, "Wait, what? Like he can do that?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what's coming."
going on?
Because I read the manga and like I'm pretty sure it's the next arc, but which is one reason why I say this is probably one of the best animes ever. Is they spend a whole arc focus on Shigaraki and the villains, and even in the movie they were like revealing some of like how they got powered up basically, and like how they trained. So I was like they're spoiling a lot of things that hasn't shown in the animes, which a lot of people who went and seen the movie normally just watch the anime. So it was like,
See, and again, I don't care because I just want to be entertained. As long as
he's
it's
like, I don't care about that.
as long, listen, but I
Sky
don't
High
care about
already spoiled
spoilers
it.
either. You know, and I realize
Plot could look like Swiss cheese, but as long as it's fun, he
as long
enjoys
as it's
it.
fun and entertaining, I don't care. Listen, I like all the Star Wars movie, all of them. Okay,
As long as you're honest with that, that's fine.
I like all the Star Wars movies, all of them.
All the Star Wars
Rogue One
movies,
is
I
still
love
the
them.
most Star Wars movie ever to be made, in my opinion.
See, I can't
Yeah.
speak on Star Wars because I'm not
I
the biggest
agree with
Star
that.
Wars fan. So like that's more of his territory because I like watch Star Wars like just to watch it. Like I don't know.
So
too
you're
much
the
about
prettier
lore.
one and the smart one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
I mean, no, you hit the nail on the head. Thank you. Someone else saw it. Jesus.
It's like, finally, I don't have to tell myself anymore.
Finally, someone else gets it.
Oh goodness. No, like I said, as long as it's entertaining, I'm good. I don't even care about spoilers. People are like, oh, spoiler alert. I'm like, I don't care because to me, what happens is not so much what I
You
care
still want
about.
to see it.
I want to know how they got there. Like
Right.
It's not about the
how did-
destination, it's about the journey.
See, everything's
Yeah.
about the journey for me.
don't care
Everything.
how
I mean,
Dominic
life
Toretto
in
can
general
drive
is
off a
about the
tangent.
journey for me. I love the journey, you know?
Yeah.
See, my thing is for spoilers, it depends on the spoiler for me. Like if it's something like most of the time I'm pretty good with spoilers as long as it's not a death that was unexpected. So like prime example was when I was watching when Sons of Anarchy was big and everything. I like got to it late. So I was watching it and one of my coworkers was like, oh, spoiler by the way, but this show's like 10 years old. So
You see Opie die. What?
but no, this was after Opie. This was
I'm
when
on
like,
episode 2.
this was when his wife died, and she was like, "Oh, you got to when such and such killed his wife," and I was like, "Yo, excuse me."
Which, by
I'm
the way, if
I'm on
you guys
season
are
1.
watching this, the worst way to ask a question is that way. Have you
Yeah.
seen the part where such and such dies? Like, really? That's how you gonna lead into this?
You always lead with what part are you on?
Yeah.
What part are you on?
It's like, what
What's
you
the
last
last thing you have seen? Yeah, exactly. What's the last episode you saw? I'm halfway through episode 3. Oh, okay.
Although, back to
Let me
really
not talk
bad
about it.
animes to start with. I think my third anime was ReZero.
Oh gosh.
You better shut your mouth.
No, man,
I
will
said
not
bad
shut
to
my
start
mouth.
with.
Mouth.
It's an amazing show. I just watched the new movie a few days ago, but
Which is basically just a recap. Yeah.
no. There's a new movie.
There's a new movie.
Yeah, there's a new.
'Cause I saw
movie.
that they came out with like a movie
It's,
that was basically just season 1. For
Okay,
some
so
reason.
what they did was they after season 1 finished, they came out with a movie that had like a winter festival and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think they reproduced season 1 where they cut it and like changed a few things.
So it was like Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Basically. And then they just released another movie not long ago.
Trying to make it less confusing.
Yeah.
The
The new movie that
I couldn't
they
get past like episode 5.
The new movie that they just released is like
it's for
just
advanced
Amelia's
watchers.
backstory.
That's
So it's
I
really
don't care about Amelia. It's Rem all day, every day.
She,
I have like 5 Rem
she's
figures.
so
So
overhyped.
He does.
no, she's perfect.
He has a rim body pillow he sleeps with every night.
I do not.
actually kind of
But
sad.
if you want
He
to
has
get me
2.
I will take it. I do have a Rem plushie, like 5 Rem figures, and only 1 Hinata one. So I need to step my Hinata game up. So if anyone wants to get me some Hinatas,
Tamari is best girl.
What?
I'm joking.
The only way worse if you would say Ino.
No, the only worst
Tamari's
is
not the second
10.
worst. Yeah,
10-10.
like there's
boy.
Ino in 10-10. Like I feel like 10-10 could
someone
have been
said
better if she
10-10.
got more story. But
Yeah, I'd be like, how would 10-10 be best girl when she's in 5 episodes? Explain that to me, sir.
and that's including the original Naruto and Shippuden.
That's
Yeah,
all.
right? I don't. Was she even in Shippuden? I don't even think she was.
Barely. They had that one small little arc following Guy Sensei.
Oh, so like episode and a half. Cool.
It was like 3 episodes. Remember
think
where they were
she
trying to
had-
find Naruto?
I think
I
she
think.
had
or something?
wasn't there like a small little filler
Probably skipped it.
with
Yeah.
I think it was just her and Sai, if I remember correctly.
That sounds horrific. Like the 2 worst characters.
Is that
Why would you
Uncle
do
Sai
that?
from No, never mind.
It would have been more interesting if it was Uncle Sai from Duck Dynasty.
From Duck Time. Oh wow, this is interesting. It's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
He's
What's
fighting
going
through the
on?
Great War, trying not to spill his tea.
That would be amazing. What they need to bring back is that animated Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
He had the
Wow.
gold goalie mask. Man, that
Yeah.
was. I mean,
That was a classic.
the bad guys were dinosaurs. So like,
That's me. Dinosaur.
Dinosaurs.
you never seen it?
No. He said that was me.
Dinosaurs. That's me.
I'm
Oh,
like,
dinosaurs.
I'm the dinosaur here.
Man, that was legit.
Oh my
man.
goodness. So do we have anything else that people need to watch? Must watch. Must
Peop-
watch.
Must watch.
Must watch.
I mean, outside of the like the big 3 and the like pillar
Big
animes.
3.
Studio Ghibli films.
Yeah, the cool thing about those is that a lot of people have actually seen them, even if they
Yeah.
don't necessarily get it are into anime.
The
A lot
other
of
thing
people
is
have
they might
seen them.
not understand them.
That's also true because they're very I don't want
Like
to say
Spirited
complex,
Away.
but like they are very complex, and it's like
Yeah.
You know
But
what
Spirited
movie
Away is
disappointed
amazing, but
me?
when you're 10, you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
All I know is this dragon guy is super cool. So give me more of him.
The one movie that I found super disappointing, and I know a lot of people are gonna kill me in my life for this, was
Oh, boy.
My Neighbor Totoro. I was
Ooh.
expecting so much more from that.
I don't know if you want to say that live.
It's too late.
I will die.
There's too many
I will
fangirls.
die for this. Like it's
Have you seen all the backpacks? You can't say that kind of stuff.
We need more backpacks.
You can't
but he
say
won't
that, man.
leave over his head.
Oh, somebody said
Turn into
something.
a bus.
A
You
lot
can't
of them
say
are
that,
set
dude.
on
Turn
Japanese
into-
culture and mythological themes. So yeah, I didn't understand a lot of them. That was Orlan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Orlan doesn't
Orlan,
understand
but we
a lot
also
of
know you're
things.
slow, so
No, I'm
Yeah.
Oh, heard.
Oh my goodness, I love him.
I'm
You
just
can't
kidding.
talk
He said,
about
"I
your
am."
viewers
I
like
miss
that,
said,
you.
"I
man.
am."
He said I am.
no, I
Talk
Orlan,
about half our viewership.
you know why he doesn't read manga?
Because he can't read.
I can't read.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I was gonna say. I was just gonna say because he usually can't follow the fight scenes, but okay. And then
It depends on the artist. Some artists are really good at depicting fight scenes in manga that they just flow, and others have no idea what they're doing. I mean, it just happens.
You know what's a good starter anime that I would recommend? That's fairly new. No, man. No, that's just fan service. But no, Rising of the Shield Hero. I think that's a pretty decent starter anime. Yeah,
There was a lot. My problem is we had a whole episode about this because Shield Hero and Goblin Slayer came out same season, I think, or like
I think there was back-to-back seasons,
and they got so much flack because Shield Hero, you know, the girl's like, oh yeah, he raped me, and then in Goblin Slayer there is a rape, so people were freaking out about it, but the stories are so much better. Like, if you can get past the fact that the girl in Shield Hero is the devil, it's amazing. Like, it's fantastic.
She's one of the worst characters I've ever seen.
But like,
the devil.
That's why I would recommend it, because it's so more, I think, like, realistic in its themes and like what it's trying to portray.
Fire.
Like,
so if you want to check that out, check out the manga.
I have to read the manga,
especially since season 2 is not coming out for a while. So yeah.
But
manga's legit.
I have to do the same with Demon Slayer and
oh gosh,
you got to get on that Goblin Slayer. That's dark, but
that's
worth
dark.
It's worth it. It's dark.
I think I watched like the first 9 episodes
of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
It's a better read. It's
so I've been told.
It's a lot darker in the manga.
It's a lot darker, and it fits it much better, which might sound weird if you're starting out with anime. Trust me, man. It's
even though Goblin Slayer is dark,
darkness.
Crisp darkness. The anime, I always felt like it made it feel lighter.
It did,
which is probably to make it more viewer friendly.
That's always a detriment. That's always a detriment.
It's the ability to breathe. Okay, so let me get artistic here for a second. Like, whenever you see a painting, a lot of times you'll see it real dark in an area, and then like one corner you'll see like a little bit of light.
It's light.
Yeah, it's that ability to read, and that to me, again, being my first and one of my top 2, that's what Full Metal did for me. Brotherhood was, like you said, it starts real dark. It's like Bambi. You know, no, I'm just kidding. Mom dies right away.
Legit, though?
You know, Mom dies right away. Dark. It gets real dark, but the chemistry between the brothers allows you to breathe. You know,
right?
They are funny. So in the middle of all this darkness, there's a lot of funny stuff going on. That does kind of like I said, it's not just overwhelming.
I think you would like Shield Hero then.
Shield
I think
Hero?
you would like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Shield Hero is really nice.
It's got some parts that are dark, not really, more towards the beginning, because this guy's life is
crap,
jacked up, jacked.
It's pretty bad.
Not by his fault, but the light areas are from like him and his companions, and there's a lot of breathing,
growing together.
You know, ball shots because guys getting kicked in the nuts all the time because you know things happen. Sometimes you got to defend yourself.
I like the way that So two of my favorite animes are Re:Zero and Shield Hero.
Re:Zero.
And
what was the second one?
Shield Hero.
Shield Hero.
Oh, Shield Hero. Okay.
I just really like how they bend the isekai genre.
Yeah. Because they don't.
Also, to explain this for you real quick, isekai is basically when somebody
comes to visit
modern day, and then they get like transported or whatever
to like another world,
whether it be
or
fantasy.
they die and
it's usually fantasy
or reborn into another world.
Yeah, basically you're in another world.
Wait, so would Fate fall into that?
No.
Even though they do that.
Unless you consider the heroes isekai.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The heroes are definitely out of time and place.
Yeah, but
That's why I
isekai
was
is the
asking.
main
So
character
it's the main
gets
character.
transported.
It's
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
got
they're
you.
usually obnoxiously OP. So imagine if like
because like
the person
everything's
gets
usually
transported,
served on a plate
and they're
for
just
the isekai hero.
yeah, they have Ultra Instinct mastered day one. That's basically what
But see,
isekai is.
the cool thing I liked about Shield Hero was that like
It gets
was
rid of
just-
it. It doesn't feel. It uses it like as a start point, and then it just drops it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like it explains like because like a lot of people are like the biggest issue I have with anime and especially MCs is when they give a character a specific trait, but there's no reason for it. Like you
Or
know what I'm
they're
saying?
just
So like
idiots.
yeah, so like it's like with Shield Hero, like he had a reason to be angry. He had a reason to
He has
hate
got a
everyone
lot of reasons.
because like the whole like kingdom turned against him based off of a lie. You know, like he
Yeah.
went into this world and he was supposed to be
Yeah.
like the savior, the hero, and
And
then
he's
they're
hated.
like, yeah, and then he's hated, and it's like,
immediately.
and then they're like, oh no, you can't go back home. So it's like, well, now I'm stuck in this world where everyone thinks I'm a especially a rapist. Like you know what I'm saying, and
yeah.
and so he goes into like this dark period where he's just like just angry at everyone, and but it also pushes him to train and to want to do better than
He
everybody.
gets that Curse Shield series though. That's primo.
And then it shows him, you know, actually softening up a bit as he meets these people, these other people that actually like him and that he grows to like as well. So it's a nice development of character.
Talia.
Orlon
And,
said that Grimgar was the best isekai.
Okay, see, Orlon, listen.
I'll check it out. Because you did
I
not
thought
lead me
Grimgar was
astray.
good.
Wait, so I'm gonna check it out because he did not lead me astray with Haikyuu, because that was, I really enjoyed that, and so
Yeah, who do you
even
think
though
taught him about
though it took me a long time.
Who do you think got him into it? I'm the master's master.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who told me about Haiku, but I know Orlon had probably seen it before me.
It's probably
But it's also he also has an advantage because his wife is Japanese, so it's like he doesn't really have a choice. But
And let's be honest, both of them look better in the volleyball uniforms than all of us do. So both Orland and Saudi look better in the volleyball uniform than we do. So
that's probably true.
yeah. Even Pretty Boy. I'm sorry, man. They got you on this
Oh
one.
man,
Oh, shucks.
that's all I had going for me.
No,
man.
no, you
He's
still,
like, I wanted
you-
to have the shorts.
you
Like, I
still-
guess I'll just go put this back.
You're still smarter than Orland, but now that Orland's been in the military, that dude was good looking before. Now he's good looking and ripped. See, it's hard, man.
Hey, don't let his head get any bigger than it already is.
It's okay. He didn't have that much hair. He can handle it.
That's what happened. As it expanded, it fell out.
Actually, one of my so this has nothing to do with anything, but you guys said this is like people just hanging and talking. One of my favorite experiences ever with Orland and Saudi, we were at Epcot and we were in the Japan store. Now, traditionally, I speak to Sao in Spanish. And I'm sitting there talking to her in Spanish, and the lady who's working there, small Japanese lady, is looking at us like, what in the world? How is Saudi?
What is happening?
She's talking to me in Spanish, and then her jaw fell off when Orland turned to her and asked her in Japanese how much the sword was. Like, she... What's going on? Like, Orland asked her in Japanese how much it was for the sword, and her jaw was just like, oh, what just happened? My world's just been turned upside down. It was...
This is definitely the most magical
It was,
place on earth.
I wish I would have recorded it, because it was so good. It was so good.
That's great.
I miss you guys, just for the record. I miss you. When you guys make it back here, we'll head out to Epcot. If they open it again, of course. He said I missed them, but my aim's getting better. She said. So, anyway.
Quick backstory. Orlon is how I actually met Angel, and he brought me to my first like GOTY event, and I used to always ride out there with them to the GOTY events back when I was like actually trying to get good at Smash. So,
then he just gave up.
Yeah, he realized he was better at anime.
Yeah. Man, this isn't for me.
Look, man, I gave up. I didn't give up actually. It was just I was working. was working. You know how much I was working.
Yeah.
I was working too much.
I hear that a lot. Listen,
Don't worry.
I
get that all
I would
the
be
time.
so much better at this game.
Oh, no, I didn't say I would be
you know,
better. I just stopped coming to events.
Yeah.
If I had the time,
yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know,
Man.
Well, see, the problem was that
And by time you mean talent. Okay, I get it.
yo, you don't have
They
to
both
keep
start
saying
with
it,
T.
dog.
I understand how you get those confused.
It confuses me every now and then. No, but the problem was that I asked Orlon to train me. I was like, yo, I want to get better. Train me. Never did it. So, yeah. I'm blaming Orlon right now.
It's all his fault.
It's all his fault.
Let me translate this. I suck and it's his fault. I have no
Exactly.
responsibility or
He
accountability
said
in
you
this.
never came over.
Let me keep sucking. Come on, man.
It's like that one meme where the guy's right the stick in it himself
Yeah.
and falls off.
Oh no, I've fallen over.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, yeah, it's his fault. He never trained me.
said
So
he
then I
never
tried to
came
go to.
He says,
Never
I
tried.
asked you
Never came-
repeatedly, lol, I was like, yo, I got free time, you trying to come? And you're like, nah, I gotta work, or I just got off. He said you came over once.
See? Truth comes out. The stream speaks up.
But the truth did come out. I was always working, plus in school and recording the podcast. So
Y'all saw
it was
that,
a
right?
lot.
The stream muted him for some reason. We had nothing to do with that.
Just tired of excuses.
You can thank Discord for that.
The stream just muted him.
Enough with these excuses, dog.
Oh,
All right,
no.
he's done.
I love
No,
excuses,
but,
man.
I am trying to get better. I'm waiting for my mom to ship me my docking station for my Switch.
I'm gonna
but,
clip that. I'm gonna clip that area where he says, "I'm trying to get better. I'm waiting for my
I'm waiting
mom."
for my mom.
That's all. I'm not
I'm
putting
waiting
the
for
rest
my
of it.
mom.
I'm just gonna clip. I'm trying to get better. I'm just waiting for my mom.
Why are you
That's it.
waiting
Nothing
for your
else.
mom? She's got to
I'm-
take me to practice.
I'm gonna
Oh,
clip that
okay.
and tweet it out.
Hey mom,
Tag the
can you
man.
take me to Orland's house?
Trying to get better, but I'm waiting for my mom. Okay.
Orly shows up to the man's house and be like, "Can Joey come out and play?"
Pretty much. Nah,
That's
my problem
We
with fighting
totally
games
lost
is
this show, by the way. Like we were talking about anime, and we just went on
That's
totally.
fine. It's normal.
This was
That's the
classic.
whole premise.
Oh my goodness, this is fun.
We're better than we started. 'Cause when we started, it would be like 45 minutes in, then we'd hit our topic. 15 minutes later, we're done. So, we got better.
At least you were concise with your topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we didn't get better. We had to create another episode, like another section of the
That's true.
podcast to dedicate to.
Just to get it all out.
Yo,
And,
thanks for the
wait,
follow.
and just because my other son's not in here, I'm gonna bring his character in here so at least the character will speak for him. You ready? Here we go.
All right,
gosh.
fantastic.
Oh no.
There you go.
Oh, Zero?
Zero.
Yeah. He was my favorite from Mega Man.
Dude, Nendoroids are sick.
Yeah, but they're also like $50.
They're expensive, but
Too
His
expensive.
characters are Zero and
You can get 2 figures for the price of 1.
I love him. He's
2
stupid
Rems.
OP.
Gilgamesh.
And
Two
Gilgamesh.
Rem figures.
Yeah,
Yep,
David's
two-
characters
Gilgamesh?
are Zero and Gilgamesh. Yeah,
Gilgamesh is dope from
Yeah.
Fate.
yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
I love the
But,
whole Fate
He's
thing.
ridiculous.
Ozymandias
Yeah.
is cooler in my opinion, but
Then Gilgamesh.
yeah. I would say
It's all about that Heracles, dog.
Heracles is sick.
You don't
But-
want to get him started on Heracles because we just did a top 10. We just did a top 10 animated movies, and he went on for like 3 minutes about how Hercules was a great movie, but his name should have been Heracles because he was Greek, and they gave him the wrong name. And like,
Are you
But
talking
he-
about the Rock? The
The-
Rock movie?
no, the Hercules movie.
The animated
The
one.
animated.
Disney's
film.
Hercules.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Keep up, bro. Keep up.
They give him the Roman name,
sorry.
but he's Greek.
Ooh,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
Orlin, you're not the slowest.
Well, it's fun. In Record of Ragnarok, it's Heracles. So
Yeah.
if you want to check that out, I don't know if you do, but
It's a manga called Record of
Heracles.
Ragnarok. Check it out. It's
check it out.
It was our manga of the month last month,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to do it this month.
It's probably going to be lighter than the last manga I read. The last manga I read was Junji Ito's Uzumaki, which is...
I feel like I've heard of that.
In English, please.
It's a horror anime about spirals, like the actual...
An actual spiral?
Formation of spirals, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And
so it's like that Jim Carrey 21 or something?
Town, that is like cursed by the power of the spiral. People go crazy. People try to turn themselves into spirals. It's really weird.
Oh, wow.
People turn into snails.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is horror? It's not just like an acid trip? Like
it was both. That was the thing.
Oh, okay.
It was really weird. But yeah.
I would check out Record though.
Yeah,
check out Record of Ragnarok.
What's it about?
It's pretty good.
It's primo. It's about gods fighting humans, and if the gods win, they're going to destroy the whole Earth. If the humans win, we get to live for 1,000 years.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
So the Valkyries,
it's
they
nice
pick,
and violent. It's great.
The gods choose 13 representatives, and the Valkyries choose 13 human representatives from like all throughout time.
Yep.
And the first one to 7 wins. They win
tournament.
Yeah, best of 7 tournament, 1-on-1 battles.
Fight to the death. There's no draws. You die.
Yeah. It's either death or you admit defeat or something like that.
Well, everybody's killing each other, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible.
The last battle they did in the manga was Heracles versus Jack the Ripper.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And Nikola Tesla is one of the contestants, so
yeah.
If you need another reason than to see the master of electricity fighting someone.
They had Zeus versus Adam from Adam and Eve.
Oh wow, okay.
That fight
that fight right there solidified the manga as like, it's up there. Like
it's up there, dude. It's surprising because when you look at it,
podcast, man.
Yeah, because you're gonna look at it and you probably be like, "This isn't deep," and then you, wait, what is happening now?
Yeah, because the
why
first
am I so invested?
The first fight was Lubu versus Thor, and so it was just like a battle of brutes, and it was like, okay, that was pretty cool, like, but all right, cool. So this is gonna be like a fight, a beat 'em up manga, like they just fighting, and the next one they actually get like a little bit deep, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, why am I crying?
So we've been on here for a while. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Before we leave, though, I got a bunch of absolutely random questions. Have nothing to do with anything. Have nothing to do with anime. But I want to ask them. We're gonna go around and get everybody's answers. All right. So you guys, here we go. How do you normally start your day? Coffee. How do you normally? Huh? What do you say, eating?
Gonna take a pee.
Makes sense. All right. If you could be a character in any video game.
In any video
game? Any video game? Be a character. Be a character. Who would it be?
Oh my gosh. You can't put me on the spot like this.
Yeah. You got anything, Javier?
Me, no.
Probably my MLB created player.
My MLB created player.
He's hitting like 500, broke the home run record. I want to be that dude.
I want to be him.
By the way, just so you know, there are My Hero games. So.
Yeah, there are. Actually, Orland and I play it. We're like the only two that play it, but we do play it.
I think I'd rather make money though. So,
fun fact: me and Orland have a bet going on right now for the My Hero 2.
Have you been practicing though?
Listen, I actually like the first one, and I'm actually decent at it. And the only reason I'm decent at it is because nobody else plays it.
Fair point.
I love teasing people with Shigaraki.
So I'm decent at that game. I enjoy it.
I'm about to beat Orlan with Mirio, so he has to play Bakugo. Though.
All right, what show would you like to make a cameo in?
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Like any show or
Yeah,
anime?
any show.
Any show.
What human shows do we watch?
He's like, do we know humans?
I mean, it's mostly just Netflix.
Yeah, that's that's true.
Which, by the way, Letter to a King was better than I thought it was going to be. The ending sort of sucked, but the rest of it was really good.
I'll probably say Witcher. That's like
Alright.
one show I've been hyped
Make
up
me
on.
a fly on the
That's a great
wall
say.
in Love is Blind.
Love is blind. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. Movie that made you cry in laughter.
And laughter.
Yeah, you were laughing.
Oof.
Made you laugh. Stupid laugh.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott
Get
Pilgrim.
smart.
Scott Pilgrim
Get
was
smart.
so
Get
ridiculous.
smart.
That was actually entertaining. Let's see.
Bad Boy, the new Bad Boys.
What was your first video game?
Ooh.
Oh, see?
My first video game I can remember.
First video game that like I owned or played. Because
Either
those
way.
are two different
Yeah,
things.
give me both of them.
I think the first video game I played was Sonic.
I think that was the first video game I played too.
like Dreamcast or something, and then the first one I owned,
Sega.
yeah, was it was I think it was the bundled one with the PlayStation 1.
Listen,
Oh, that's right.
I'm old,
that
so
like
the first one
sports game.
the first one I played was You Died, of Dysentery. That was
Oh yeah,
on
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail, baby. That was during computer class.
Yeah.
with the black screen and the green
Yeah.
letters. That was my first.
Never knew even how to play that game. They would make us play it in first grade, like we're gonna figure out what's going on.
Only ornament that I know of.
You died of dysentery. I
and
don't even know what that is.
All right, an album. See, this, I told you, I wrote these questions. I'm old because it says an album. Nobody has albums anymore. An album people will be surprised that you actually own.
That I own?
Yeah. Music
I don't
that you
own
listen
music.
to. That people will be like, I didn't even know he listened to that.
Probably any music at all.
He doesn't listen to music. I listen to music. Like, surprise.
First Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon.
I listen to everything, so my list
I
is
me
way
too.
too big.
I listen to honestly everything.
Let's see. Your most played video game. That's different.
Most played video game.
Most played. Does this mean like repeat plays? Because
Yeah.
that would probably be.
Like, I mean, you play this the most, more
If
than any
it's-
other game.
Star
Oh
Wars
man, if it's
Battlefront
added
FIFA.
up, if it's added up over like the game series, it would
Yep.
100% be Ratchet and Clank.
Nice.
Ratchet and Clank's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, I've played those games. I've beaten every game like 5 times out of them. So, I don't think I played one game more.
What's your karaoke song?
Oh, Let Me Love You by Mario.
Well, that was too. He went there. Yo, he went there so fast.
No
I was like,
hesitation.
dude's been going karaoke every Friday night. We didn't even know it.
You're like pulling up a mic already. What? Oh,
Hey
Are
guys,
we
you can find
not-
this guy every night at Applebee's.
Oh my
Every
goodness,
Thursday night.
dude! he
Never
was-
done karaoke.
It was the first song I ever sung on karaoke.
I've never done karaoke. So I wouldn't know.
Wow. All right, weirdest hidden talent.
Karaoke.
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 I have to be karaoke.
Weirdest hidden talent.
I don't even.
No
know.
hidden talents?
All my talents are up front, which are none.
Right?
It's like, I'm shockingly average.
I don't. My talents are so talented. I don't think I can hide them. So
I am Deku. Unless somebody gives me something, I got nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I got it. But I'm really determined.
He's like, I would say Smash, but Orlin never trained me.
Right? He did it, man. I'm hurt by that.
Oh my goodness.
The fee was too high, man.
All right, craziest thing that ever happened to you.
Oh,
Karaoke.
That night at karaoke, dog.
Let me tell you.
The Christmas party, dude.
Craziest thing that ever happened to me?
Probably your hips.
His hips don't lie.
Why'd you have to go there, man?
It just came out, man. It's my hidden talent.
That's my hidden talent. Pointing out your
It just comes out.
Yeah, I would probably have to say my hips though. I broke both my hips.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
Oh man.
Hips.
Yeah, that's probably the craziest thing that ever happened to me too. Your hips.
Hearing that story of how you broke both of them. Craziest thing.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Is there a video game you're looking forward to?
The Last of Us Part 2.
Even though you haven't finished the first one? Yes. The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Second Spider-Man game.
And
The next
if you had a DJ
Grand
name,
Theft.
we're gonna sign off with this. So put some thought into it. If you had a DJ name, what would your DJ name be? I'm old, so I'm going with Bust a
Oh,
Hip.
man. That's his no. Just,
That's true. We should give it to him.
just
You know
steal
what? I
Alton's.
should give you Bust a Hip.
That's terrible.
Oh my goodness! I think that's
is it
it,
not
guys.
true though?
We only tell the truth. That's all. Hey guys, I don't know if you
hanging
guys
out.
sign up any other way, but guys, it's been a whole lot of fun. I definitely want to do this again. We'll get some other topics. You guys on the stream, let us know if you got other topics you want us to tackle.
Yeah.
This is
And give us free money.
you
know.
gamer's viewpoint on today's world, whatever that is. So we will attack any subject. Even if we don't know it, we will make up the answers.
Oh,
Trust me.
100%.
We got this, okay?
That's my hidden talent, bro science. Certified bro scientist.
Yeah, that's it, man. You just make it up. You don't have to be that's right, a rocket surgeon.
Yep.
In order to
If it
A
makes
rocket
sense,
surgeon.
It has to work.
There's a
That's
T
right.
in
You
that
can be a
word.
rocket surgeon in order to do this. You know, we got this, but we will make it up. We will answer whatever questions you have. This is Angel, Javier, and you guys are.
Tootaku.
Are we?
Apparently not.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
He's like after
wait a
the
minute.
hips, it's more like one
That's right.
taku, but
Yeah.
okay.
You got father, son, the good-looking guy, and the other guy. All right, we're out of here. See ya.
Yeah.